Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. You know I talk a lot about leadership, and a big part of leadership is influence and persuasion. So I got a chance to look at this article about the 6 principles of persuasion. And these 6 principles were invented, or they came about, by a young man by the name of Robert Cialdini. Now, Robert Cialdini, considered to be a leading social scientist in the field of influence, wrote an article in the Harvard Business Review entitled Harnessing the Power of Persuasion. Now, this article looks at the positive side of persuasion and how managers can use these principles to run their organizations more effectively. He goes on to label or lay out 6 principles of persuasion in his book entitled Influence. Now, in this book, he talks about the dangers of persuasive techniques in the wrong hands. However, I only deal in positiveness because I help build leaders who want to grow and influence for good and for the better. Now, let's take a look at the 6 principles of persuasion real quick. The first one is liking. If people like you, it's because they sense that you like them, or they feel like you have some things in common. So they're more apt to say yes to you or to help you. In other words, if they feel like they've had a conversation or two with you and they feel like, okay, this guy or maybe this lady, we operate on the same wavelength. We're on the same page. So if I come to you and ask for some help or to get me out of a jam or just to help with work in general, you're more apt to say, yeah, I'll help you because you feel like we're on the same page or because you feel like there's a likeness there. So liking is the very first one, the first principle of persuasion. The second one is reciprocity. Now, reciprocity is people tend to return favors. If you help others, they're more apt to help you as well. Your conduct and how you behave most likely will determine how people will respond to you. So reciprocity is another principle of persuasion. The third one is social proof. And social proof is a lot like liking. Social proof is people will do things that they see others doing, especially if those other people seem similar to them. In other words, you're leading by example. But if I'm liking what you're doing, or if I see what you're doing and it's productive, it's successful, then I'm going to do it too. I'm going to follow the leader, so to speak. So number 3 is social proof. Okay. The fourth one is commitment and consistency. People want to be consistent, or at least they appear to want to be. If a public voluntary commitment is made, they'll try their best to follow it through. Because we all want to look good and we all want our word to mean something. So commitment and consistency is number 4. The 5th one is authority. People defer to the experts and to those in positions of authority. Now, if you are well educated in your field of study, you are a person of authority. You are an expert. People will flock to you for your expertise, for your insight. So authority is another principle of persuasion. The last one, number 6, is scarcity. People value things more if they perceive them to be scarce. Just like with rare metals or rocks, very good leadership is scarce. It's rare because most leaders focus on the bottom line or the goal or the target at task. And what we as leaders need to understand is when we pour ourselves into our team and we're vested in helping our team get better, then the team is going to be more effective. They're going to feel like, hey, he's got my back or she's got my back. They're going to be more productive and more effective, not only for you, but for the team themselves, each other, and for the company and the goal as well. So scarcity is the 6th and final principle of persuasion. So I'm thinking with these 6 principles, you guys can really sit back and look at your leadership style and really figure out how you can implement, if you haven't already, implement these principles of persuasion into your leadership model to help your team become better, to help your influence become better and stronger, so that you can lead your team and help them become more productive and hit more of your targets and goals at the same time and be the leader that people want to follow. There are not a lot of great examples of leadership today. So for you to be a great leader, and exemplify and show these principles of leadership, or of persuasion, excuse me, and incorporate them into your leadership will make you a scarce but great leader, and someone that people will want to follow and talk to see how they can become better. All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch these videos. I really hope that you guys are really getting something out of these videos. As always, you can go to my website, www.chadbumgarner.co. You can hit me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Chad_Bumgarner. All right. Thank you so much again. And remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?